Alright, what is up guys? Hope you guys are having an amazing day today. So I just want to show you guys a quick tip on how to know which photo to post. For me, it's always kind of difficult trying to figure out which photo to edit, which one I think is going to do best. Over my time of doing social media, I have a pretty good understanding of what kind of photos perform well. However, every once in a while there will be a photo that I'm really excited about that just does not do good. And then there will be photos that, I don't really care too much for that will just do exceptionally well. Alright, so here's what you do to decide which photo to edit, which photo to post, whether you're a photographer, you're a model, you're a musician, you're anything, you're trying to figure out which content is going to get you the highest returns. Well, here's what you do. Here's how you can test your products, test your photos, test your imagery, test your videos, test your songs, whatever you want to do. Here's how you test it before you send it and release it to the public and post it on your Instagram. Okay. So here's what you do. I just created a new campaign. This is for testing. So the campaign is geared towards traffic. And so basically, here's what you do. When you create a new campaign, you go in here, you write for traffic. And then after you hit traffic, it's going to say campaign name, and you type in a name. You turn this off, campaign budget optimization, you hit continue, and then it's going to go into the ad set categories here on the left. But I already have a new campaign set up for this, so I'm going to head on over there and we'll go into the ad sets in the ad area from here. Okay, so I have this ad already kind of set up and going. This is just something I set up just for this video. Basically, I'm going to start from scratch though. So I'm going to say create a new ad set, all right? And here's the idea. Here's what you do so that you can test your photos, your videos, your songs, whatever it is you want to do. You can test it ahead of time by doing this. So ad set name, I might say like photo 2, because I already have a photo 1. And then what I want to do is I want to advertise to cheap countries, really cheap. So I already know that like Algiers is really cheap. Algiers, Providence, it's fine. And then Maharashtra. India is really cheap. And maybe I might do Delhi as well. Okay. And then the audience, my average audience is 18 to 34 on my Instagram. And if I were trying to get followers, maybe I might only do men. But I want this to appeal to all demographics, so I'm going to do all. And maybe people who speak English. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to type in a few interests here. Portrait, photography, that fit my feed interests. And then maybe just photography in general. And I'm going to make sure this is unchecked. And this is fine. This is all good. Make sure it's all good. Alright, I'm going to go to edit placements. I'm going to go and turn off desktop. So only mobile. Turn off Facebook, Audience Network, and Messenger. And then turn off feed or stories. And then I'm going to scroll down here. And the ad type, I want impressions. Well, I want unique daily reach, actually. I want to reach unique people. And then I'm going to set it to $1, okay? So with $1, I'm going to reach 4.8 thousand to 14,000 people. That's enough people to give me enough data on what's going on. And I'm going to set a start and end date. And right now it's 2 in the morning. I'm going to wake up probably around 9 a.m. So I'm going to set this for, I want this done by today, August 4th, by 10 a.m. So by the time I'm ready to edit photos, I want this ad set to be done. And it's going to spend $1 in that time. So, and I'm going to change this to a lifetime budget of $1, not daily budget, my bad. So before 10 a.m. it will spend my dollar, and it'll reach 15,000 to 43,000 people, which is great. That's going to give me a ton of information. So I'm going to continue here, and this is the ad identity. So I might say this is going to be, I might say photo 1 or whatever it is, but actually this is going to be a top photo. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some, like 1 or 2 of my best pieces, so my best photos, my best songs, my best videos. I'm going to take 1 or 2 depending on whatever medium you're creating. I'm going to take 1 or 2 of my best ones, and I'm going to set this up to spend $1 on engagement. And basically what you're going to do is with those, that will give you a base for, you know, when your best content will get X amount of likes with $1 spent. So what you do is you take several other pieces of content that you're thinking about posting or editing or doing whatever with it, and you spend $1 to reach those 15,000 people, and based on the amount of engagement you get, you judge that against one another. So if you're trying to choose between 5 photos, you choose to edit the one that got the most engagement with that $1, because numbers don't lie. And or if you're doing songs, you could make a snippet of the song, or even if you're trying to figure out what to title your song or the cover art of your song, or if you're trying to create a video, maybe you're trying to see does one kind of frame work better in the beginning or does another? If you're trying to figure out a good clickbait kind of title for a YouTube video, you could test this, because when you test this, you're testing in these third world countries that don't really care, and they probably don't already follow you. It's not like the people who are going to be buying from you. So what you do is you test it over there, you can figure out what's going to do best based on the numbers, and then when you post it for yourself, you'll always be posting the best content every single time. So I'm going to go through here, I'm going to upload one of the images. I have this testing folder. This has got a bunch of different photos that I'm going to be testing. And let's just do this one. This is an unedited photo of one of my better photos. I can upload that one. And I might say something like, follow for more photos. A lot of the language, you know, is super primitive over there for English. Some speak English very well, and some don't speak it as well. But I'm not going to worry too much about it. That's not what it's about. I'm wondering and most curious about the likes that this unedited photo will get. Because this photo did really well on my feed. So I want to see how the other photos I'll be testing will do against these photos. Because if one does better than this, well, that's really good news. That's something I need to be aware of. For the website URL, I'm just going to type in my Instagram, because it doesn't matter. And maybe I'll say something like subscribe. It doesn't really matter. That's not what we're worried about. And this is good. I don't need anything more. And we're set up. Hit review. This is perfect. And save. I'm going to publish draft item. And now it's publishing. Okay. So now it's in review. Depending on what kind of content you're posting, sometimes it'll get rejected. If you post like kind of more scandalous stuff, like they have some terms and conditions you have to follow when advertising. So just know that you can't post stuff that's like gory or too sexual or anything like that. They won't let you do it. They won't let you do that. But once you have this all set up, I can double check in here to make sure it's all good. Daily unique reach, perfect. So it's reaching unique people every time. I'm spending $1. Hitting these places, all perfect. 18, portrait photography, all that's good. Placement, Instagram, mobile, only on feeds. Excellent. All right, this is all well and good. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to duplicate this. Duplicate it once, perfect. And then I might type photo 3. And now we have all of the settings still the same. But now I can go into the ad and change the ad here. Test photo 1 and change this to a new photo. Change image. All right, perfect. Now I have this image that I can test before I go through all the pains of editing it and making it look super nice to see how it'll do in comparison to my other photos. And I can test as many as I want. It only costs $1 every time. I could even do less. I could do like 50 cents, but $1 is a good amount because then you're reaching a few thousand people and you have accurate data on how well your photo is going to do versus other photos. And then you can pick more wisely. And here's a tip. If you're a model, what I would do is take a white background and have somebody take a bunch of photos of you from different angles and with different hairstyles, different kinds of clothes, smiling, different expressions, and test all of those and see what does best. So you know your angles the best. That's what I would do. And photographers, try testing, getting further away, closer to the subject, more landscape, less landscape, beaches, mountains. Try testing these things and see what are people engaging the most. And then you're going to have your numbers down. If you're doing anything, if you're taking videos, take videos of these different things and see what these audiences like the most, and just start doing really broken down tests of each individual pieces to see which one does best. If you're a videographer maybe and you're trying to decide between two different clips, just upload a 30-second clip of one and 30-second clip of the other and just see what naturally does a little bit better than the other. You are sending this to so many people with that $1. Like you saw, I think it was like 14,000 people. You'll get enough data out of those 14,000 people to know which one is going to perform best. Anyways, guys, I hope this has been super helpful in figuring out a new way to test your photos before you edit them, before you post them, or test your songs, or test anything that you're doing, your advertisements, anything, before you post it to see which one will get the most engagement. All right, guys, I look forward to your success. Thank you.